I don't know about you, but I've never much liked the map of vanilla Morrowind. It definitely fits the art style of Morrowind, but I just find it too outdated for my taste. As someone who plays on OpenMW, until recently I didn't really have many map mods to choose from, but over the last year a number of them have popped up, so today I'm presenting 4 map mods for OpenMW that I think you might enjoy. The first mod I want to show you is called Map and Compass. Now, this is originally a Morrowind script extender mod, but it's made possible on OpenMorrowind now thanks to another mod called Wayfarer's Atlas. This is basically a simple paper map. It completely removes your ability to see where you are on the map and removes the difference between the global and local map. All you get is this image as a reference image for you to figure out where you are. So this is perfect for the people who love getting lost in video games, you know? And if you're thinking like, why would you play with this? What's the point? It actually really helps immerse you in the world and sort of tests your ability to know where you are based on your surroundings. It's an amazing way to play a game if you've never tried it. So yeah, you basically get this image. You actually get various images of different locations. So for example, if you were in Mournhold, you could use this map instead, or any other map that you add into the game. You can basically add whatever image as a map to sort of display in this window here. But my favorite has got to be the Morrowind full map here, which displays also the mainland, not just Vardenfell. And what this map lets you do is add different waypoints. So if you double click, you can add waypoints for pretty much anything you can think of that you would reasonably be interested in noting down for the game. You can change the description, write down some notes, you can change the name, you can pin it, you can change the color, and in this way you can populate your map organically without the game automatically doing it for you, which again, it just helps you stay immersed in the game. There's also a bunch of configuration options here, so you can, for example, choose to also use the vanilla map along with this if you don't want to completely lose the ability to see the local map, and you have various different map packs here that you can try and use, you can rename them, etc. It's a really nice mod. You just have to make sure to activate both Map and Compass and Wayfarer's Atlas in openmw.cfg for this to work with OpenMorrowind. So both of those mods have their own data directories, whereas for the content file there is only the Wayfarer's Atlas. And if you want to add your own image, you have to go into the Map and Compass folder and add the image in an appropriate format. So yeah, this is a really cool mod. On to the next one. Dynamic Map is a fairly new mod, and it seems like there are still a lot of features that the author wants to add, but what is there is already beautiful. So you've got this full map view that you activate using a separate key, not just by opening the inventory. And you get this nice wide view of a lot of different places. Now, at this point, the map shows all the different places, not just the ones you found, and this is a work in progress feature. As I've said, there are quite a lot of those. But already, this is a really nice way to view your different fast travel options. So you've got the land routes. Sorry, you have to use the key here. You've got your land routes. You've got your water routes. You've got your guild guide routes, and these all look brilliant. Look at those. Even those little images here in the bottom. The map looks very, very professional. It also displays the currently released areas of Tamriel rebuilt, distinguishing them from areas which have not yet been released, which is always great to see. Now, unlike Map and Compass, this map does show you where you are on the map. So we're here in Seydanin. If we walk for a bit, we will appear. Yeah, we appeared a little further on the road. Installing it is very straightforward. You just point to the data folder, point to the content file, and there you are. So I would say this map is already worth using, but in the future with more updates, it might even become my favorite map. Next, we've got Lively Map, which is this beautiful 3D map experience. If we open it up, we see that it takes up the entire screen. It also has some interesting features, such as Fog of War, which none of the previous map mods had. It also lets you set waypoints, as most map mods do, so you can, for example, save a marker like this. You can even switch colors by clicking. But the real killer feature of this mod, I feel, is the ability to view your footsteps. So this is basically the complete opposite of the Map and Compass mod. It not only lets you see where you currently are, it also lets you see where you've been and exactly where you've come from, which I think is such an amazing feature for a map mod to have. Another feature that sets this mod apart is its customizability. So you can choose between a classic or a more detailed map, as I've got now. You can choose between a mostly brown or a colorful map, as I've got now. You can even choose to use normals so that the mountains look more 3D. There's a lot of customization here. Unfortunately, this customization is locked behind a fairly complex installation process. You have various data folders that you need to point the game to based on how you want your map to look. And if you're not sure and you want to test this is a pretty painful process because you will have to insert the data folder, save the config file, relaunch the game, etc. It's a bit of a process, but if you follow the instructions on the mod page, it should be pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, the installation itself is also quite involved. I would showcase it here, but honestly, I don't want to go through that process again because it's fairly complicated. So if following instructions and installing mods is not your strong suit, you might instead choose to go for a different mod. All in all, this is a really cool and unique one though, and I like it for what it is. But I think my favorite mod out of all of these has got to be Advanced Map. This is based on the grid map of Tamriel, so it's even future-proof, but the real appeal here is how many features it has and also how good it looks compared to vanilla. Just like most other map mods, it lets you set markers, it lets you see where you are on the map, but it also lets you see the local map just by zooming in, provided you install the optional add-on. Now this is of course the vanilla local map, but look how seamlessly it is overlaid here. It nicely transitions into the wider world map in a pretty nifty way. The mod also lets you toggle the visibility of different things. It lets you search locations that you've explored. It lets you see all your character nodes in one place. It's a really well-made mod. Just like the other mods, it also has a fairly extensive config page, so you can really set it to your liking. By the way, notice this hotkey here. So the mod can not only be activated in the menu, it can also be activated using a separate key. And you can resize it how you want if you click this square in the bottom right corner. It took me a while to figure out because none of the other sides work, but this square does. So you can resize it to be the way you want, and you can also add notes. The note adding window is sort of crude looking compared to some of the other mods, but it works. And I think overall this is just the best map mod for me. For a normal sort of playthrough where I'm not planning on getting lost and I'm not planning on doing anything way out of the ordinary. So I hope you like this mod as well. Installing it is pretty easy. Again, one or two data folders depending on if you want the local map textures, and the same amount of content files as well. If you enjoyed this kind of content, I have more OpenMW mod showcases coming up, as well as some other more lore-focused videos. YouTube thinks you'll like this one, so why not check it out?